This food eases reflux better than meds. Heal your stomach naturally after 60. Have you been struggling with that burning sensation in your chest and throat that just won't go away? If you're over 60 and tired of depending on medications that seem to offer temporary relief at best, this video might be the turning point in your health journey. Today, I'm going to reveal a surprising food that research shows can be more effective at easing reflux symptoms than many prescription medications, something you might already have in your kitchen. By the end of our time together, you'll understand exactly how this natural remedy works, why it's particularly effective for adults over 60, and the simple ways you can incorporate it into your daily routine to find lasting relief. Stay with me until the end because I'll also share a special tip that most gastroenterologists don't tell their patients, but has helped thousands find permanent freedom from reflux symptoms. Are you ready to trade those pills for something your body actually needs? Let's dive in. You know that moment when you finish a delicious meal, maybe something you've been looking forward to all day, and then it hits you, that uncomfortable burning sensation creeping up your throat. If you're nodding your head right now, you're certainly not alone. Acid reflux affects millions of Americans, and it seems to get more common and more severe as we age. But have you ever wondered why that is? Why does turning 60 seem to bring on these digestive challenges that weren't such a big deal in our younger years? Well, the truth is that our digestive system changes significantly as we age. The muscles that control the lower esophageal sphincter, that's the valve that keeps stomach acid where it belongs, naturally weaken over time. And when that happens, acid can more easily splash up into your esophagus, causing that familiar burning sensation we call heartburn. But here's what's really interesting, and what your doctor might not have told you. These changes don't have to lead to a lifetime of discomfort or dependency on medications. Let me ask you something. How many different reflux medications have you tried over the years? 1, 3, maybe even 5 or more? And how many of them promise relief, but only delivered temporary results, or worse, came with side effects that were almost as troublesome as the reflux itself? If that sounds familiar, you're exactly who I had in mind when creating this video. Now, before I reveal this remarkable food that could change everything for you, let's talk about why conventional treatments often fall short, especially for those of us over 60. Most reflux medications work by either neutralizing stomach acid or reducing its production. And while that might sound like a good approach, it actually creates a new set of problems. You see, we need stomach acid. It helps us digest food properly and absorbs vital nutrients. When we suppress it with medications, especially over long periods, we can develop nutritional deficiencies that lead to bone loss, muscle weakness, and even cognitive decline, all issues that become more concerning as we age. Does that mean you should just live with the discomfort? Absolutely not. What it means is that we need to think differently about managing reflux. Instead of just treating the symptoms, we need to address the root causes. And that's where this remarkable food comes in. So what is this almost magical food that can ease reflux better than medications? It's something simple, affordable, and probably already in your pantry: ginger. Yes, that humble root that many of us only think about during the holidays or as a garnish for sushi has powerful anti-inflammatory properties that can transform your digestive health. But how exactly does ginger work to combat reflux? Unlike medications that just suppress acid, ginger actually helps regulate the entire digestive process. It contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols that stimulate the production of digestive enzymes, improve the movement of food through your digestive tract, and reduce inflammation throughout your system. In essence, ginger doesn't just mask the problem, it helps fix the underlying issues. What's particularly interesting for those of us over 60 is that ginger also helps increase muscle contractions in the stomach, which can strengthen that weakened lower esophageal sphincter I mentioned earlier. This means less acid making its way up where it doesn't belong. Now you might be wondering, is there research to back this up? Or is this just another natural remedy that sounds good but doesn't deliver? That's a fair question, and I appreciate your skepticism. In fact, several scientific studies have examined ginger's effect on digestive health. One particularly noteworthy study published in the World Journal of Gastroenterology found that ginger accelerated gastric emptying and stimulated antral contractions in patients with functional dyspepsia, a fancy way of saying it helped food move through the stomach more efficiently in people with digestive problems. Another study from the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine showed that ginger was more effective than the commonly prescribed prokinetic drug metoclopramide at reducing symptoms of dyspepsia and functional gastroduodenal disorders. That's significant because these conditions often overlap with reflux symptoms. But perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from a study in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences, which found that ginger reduced both the frequency and severity of reflux symptoms. When taken regularly, participants reported less heartburn, regurgitation, and even improved quality of sleep, which, as we all know, becomes increasingly precious as we get older. Are you still with me? I hope so, because what I'm about to share could make all the difference in how effectively ginger works for your specific situation. You see, not all forms of ginger are created equal when it comes to treating reflux. Have you ever tried ginger ale when you had an upset stomach? Many of us have, but here's the problem. Most commercial ginger ales contain very little actual ginger and are loaded with sugar, which can actually worsen reflux symptoms. Similarly, those crystallized ginger candies might taste delicious, but the sugar coating can trigger reflux for many people. So what's the best way to use ginger for maximum reflux relief? Fresh is always best. I recommend starting your day with a cup of fresh ginger tea. Simply slice about an inch of ginger root, steep it in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. Add a squeeze of lemon and perhaps a small amount of honey if needed for taste. Drinking this 20 minutes before meals can significantly reduce reflux symptoms during and after eating. Another effective approach is to include fresh ginger in your cooking. It adds wonderful flavor to stir fries, soups, and many other dishes. You can also try making a ginger smoothie with banana, which is also great for digestive health. A bit of almond milk and fresh ginger root for those times when fresh isn't an option. High-quality ginger supplements can be effective as well. Look for ones that specify the amount of gingerols and shogaols they contain, as these are the active compounds that provide the benefits. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but I've tried ginger before and didn't notice much difference. If that's you, there might be a few reasons why. First, consistency is key. Just like medications, natural remedies need time to work. In the studies I mentioned earlier, participants took ginger daily for at least 4 to 6 weeks before experiencing the full benefits. Second, the quality and quantity matter. That tiny sprinkle of powdered ginger in your holiday cookie isn't going to do much for your reflux. You need a therapeutic dose, which research suggests is about 1 to 2 grams of fresh ginger daily. And third, and this is crucial, ginger works best as part of a comprehensive approach to managing reflux. Which brings me to my next point. While ginger is remarkably effective, it becomes even more powerful when combined with certain other dietary and lifestyle changes. Have you ever noticed that your reflux is worse at night or after certain meals? That's your body giving you valuable information about what triggers your symptoms. And while ginger can help mitigate those effects, avoiding your personal triggers altogether will give you even better results. Common reflux triggers include coffee, alcohol, chocolate, tomato-based foods, citrus fruits, and spicy dishes. But here's something interesting. Triggers can be highly individual. Foods that cause problems for one person might be fine for another. That's why I always recommend keeping a food diary for at least 2 weeks, noting what you eat and when symptoms occur. This can help you identify your personal triggers and create a customized approach to managing your reflux. Beyond food choices, the timing and size of your meals can make a significant difference. Have you been eating large meals late in the evening and then heading straight to bed? That's a recipe for reflux disaster. Instead, try eating your larger meals earlier in the day and having a lighter dinner at least 3 hours before bedtime. This gives your body time to digest before you lie down, which dramatically reduces the likelihood of nighttime reflux. Speaking of lying down, the position in which you sleep can also impact your symptoms. Elevating the head of your bed by 6 to 8 inches, not just using extra pillows, which can actually make things worse by bending your body at an awkward angle, can use gravity to help keep stomach acid where it belongs. Have you tried this simple adjustment yet? Many of my viewers report it's made a tremendous difference in their sleep quality. Now, I mentioned earlier that I'd share a special tip that most gastroenterologists don't tell their patients. Are you ready for it? It's about the connection between stress and reflux, a connection that becomes increasingly important as we age. Research shows that stress can significantly worsen reflux symptoms by increasing stomach acid production, slowing digestion, and even causing spasms in the esophagus. And let's be honest, the years after 60 often bring new stresses, retirement adjustments, health concerns, changes in family dynamics, perhaps caring for a spouse or dealing with loss. These emotional challenges can directly impact your digestive health. The tip that can make all the difference is incorporating stress reduction techniques specifically during meals. Before you eat, take 3 deep, slow breaths. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, sometimes called rest and digest, which optimizes your digestive function. Then, try to eat mindfully, chewing thoroughly and putting your fork down between bites. This simple practice, combined with regular use of ginger, has helped many of my viewers experience dramatic improvements in their reflux symptoms. Have you noticed how pharmaceutical companies market reflux medications as if they're meant to be taken indefinitely? It's almost as if they want us to believe that reflux is just an inevitable part of aging that we have to manage with daily pills. But what if that's not true? What if, by addressing the root causes and supporting your body's natural digestive processes with foods like ginger, you could actually heal your digestive system rather than just masking symptoms? That's not just wishful thinking. Many of my viewers over 60 have shared their stories of gradually reducing and eventually eliminating their dependence on reflux medications after implementing the approaches I've discussed today. Of course, I always emphasize that any changes to prescribed medication should be discussed with your healthcare provider, but it's important to know that alternatives exist and work for many people. Now, there's another aspect of ginger that makes it particularly valuable for those of us in our golden years. Its additional health benefits beyond reflux relief. Have you been dealing with joint pain or stiffness along with your digestive issues? Ginger's anti-inflammatory properties can help with that too. Do you sometimes experience brain fog or memory concerns? Research suggests that the antioxidants in ginger may support cognitive health. Are you working to manage your blood sugar or cholesterol levels? Studies indicate ginger may help with both. This multifaceted approach to health is what I find most exciting about natural remedies like ginger. Unlike medications that target a single symptom, often with unwanted side effects, natural approaches tend to support overall wellness in multiple ways. I want to pause here and ask, have you been told that your reflux symptoms are just something you have to live with as you age, or that medications are your only option? If so, how does knowing about these natural alternatives make you feel? Hopeful? Skeptical? Perhaps a bit of both? I'd love to know your thoughts, so please share them in the comments below. Let me share a quick story about one of my viewers, Martha. She's 68 and had been on proton pump inhibitors for nearly a decade when she came across my channel. After discussing it with her doctor, she decided to try incorporating ginger into her routine while slowly tapering off her medication under medical supervision. She started with the morning ginger tea I described earlier, added some of the lifestyle modifications we discussed, and was patient with the process. 6 months later, she was completely off her medications and experiencing better digestive health than she had in years. But what surprised her most wasn't the improvement in her reflux. It was the other changes she noticed. Her energy improved, her occasional joint pain decreased, and she even found her mind seemed clearer. This is what can happen when we support our body's natural functions, rather than just suppressing symptoms. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not suggesting that ginger is a miracle cure or that it will work identically for everyone. Our bodies are unique, and what works perfectly for one person might need adjustment for another. That's why I always emphasize the importance of personalization and patience when adopting natural approaches to health. But I'm suggesting that if you're over 60 and struggling with reflux, you deserve to know about alternatives to long-term medication use. You deserve to know that there are foods like ginger that can support your digestive health in multiple ways. And you deserve to know that many aspects of reflux that seem like inevitable parts of aging are actually quite responsive to dietary and lifestyle changes. So here's my challenge to you. Try incorporating fresh ginger into your routine daily. For the next 3 weeks, keep track of your symptoms and notice any changes, not just in your reflux, but in your overall well-being. Are you experiencing less burning, sleeping better, feeling more energetic? These observations can be powerful motivation to continue. And remember, healing takes time. While some people notice improvements within days, the full benefits often develop over weeks or even months as your digestive system gradually rebalances. Patience and consistency are your allies in this journey. I hope you're finding this information valuable. If you are, would you do me a quick favor? Hit that like button below it helps others who might benefit from this information find this video. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, now's the perfect time to do so. I share new content on natural approaches to health after 60 every week, and I wouldn't want you to miss anything that might help you feel your best. Now, let's talk about a few potential concerns. First, while ginger is safe for most people, it does have mild blood thinning properties. If you're on anticoagulant medications like warfarin, or if you're scheduled for surgery soon, check with your healthcare provider before adding significant amounts of ginger to your diet. Similarly, if you have gallbladder disease, talk to your doctor first, as ginger can increase bile production. And although it's rare, some people may experience mild digestive upset when first introducing ginger. If this happens, simply reduce the amount and gradually increase as your body adjusts. Another question I often get is, can I use ginger if I'm taking medications for other conditions? In most cases, the answer is yes. Ginger typically doesn't interfere with medications. However, there are exceptions, particularly with certain blood pressure and diabetes medications. When in doubt, a quick conversation with your pharmacist can provide clarity. As we start to wrap up our time together, I want to circle back to something I mentioned at the beginning, the importance of addressing the root causes of reflux rather than just treating symptoms. Ginger is a powerful tool in this approach, but it works best as part of a bigger picture. That bigger picture includes maintaining a healthy weight. Excess weight puts pressure on your stomach and can worsen reflux. Staying hydrated water helps dilute stomach acid and supports proper digestion, and being mindful of not just what you eat, but how to eat it. Rushing through meals, eating while stressed or distracted, and not chewing thoroughly can all contribute to reflux, regardless of your age. I also want to acknowledge something important. Making changes to long-established habits isn't always easy, especially when those habits involve something as fundamental as how we eat. If you've been managing your reflux with medications for years, the idea of switching to a different approach might feel daunting. That's completely understandable. What I found works best for many of my viewers is starting small. Perhaps begin with just the morning ginger tea, and once that becomes routine, add another element like mindful eating or elevated sleeping. These incremental changes are often more sustainable than trying to overhaul everything at once. And remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Even reducing your reliance on medications, rather than eliminating them entirely, can be a significant win for your long-term health. Before we finish, I want to address one more important point. Some of you might be thinking, if ginger is so effective, why hasn't my doctor recommended it? That's a valid question. The truth is that while medical education excels in many areas, nutrition and natural approaches often receive minimal attention in traditional medical training. Many wonderful doctors simply haven't been exposed to the research on dietary approaches to managing conditions like reflux. Additionally, our healthcare system is structured around medication management rather than dietary and lifestyle modifications, which take more time to discuss and implement. This isn't a criticism of healthcare providers. Many are doing their best within the constraints of the system. But it does mean that as patients, we sometimes need to be proactive in exploring complementary approaches and bringing them into conversation with our conventional care. If you found this information helpful today, I have a small request. Could you leave a comment below with the word ginger so I know you made it to the end of this video? And if you've had any experiences with ginger for reflux, positive or negative, I'd love to hear about those too. Your experiences might help others in our community who are on similar health journeys. Also, if you've enjoyed this deep dive into natural approaches to reflux, you'll definitely want to check out my next video appearing on your screen now, where I discuss the surprising connection between reflux and sleep quality, and share 3 bedtime rituals that can dramatically reduce nighttime symptoms. Just click on that video to continue your journey toward better digestive health. And remember, no matter what your age, you deserve to feel your best. Reflux doesn't have to be your constant companion as you navigate your 60s, 70s, and beyond. With the right knowledge and tools, including powerful foods like ginger, you can take significant steps toward healing your stomach naturally. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming content on natural health after 60. Until next time, here's to your health, naturally.